Damn it, on my mama, I'm a thug nigga up before the sun rise. Quicker than the drug dealers, tell me if it's on. Nigga, then we first up on bust on these bitch made niggas, sit 'em up. West side, ain't nobody love me as a broke nigga. Finger on the trigger, Lord forgive me if I smoke.
And that is becoming the most attractive version of themselves.
Wow.
And
like
an interesting,
that.
a very interesting piece that I found intriguing about Keith, that I found out Keith was a pastor, and he also dated porn stars. So that was real contradictory to me, and right, that was really intriguing to me and led me to like, wow, let me look at this guy a little closer. So definitely and he'll explain that story. It's probably not how you're thinking it is, but definitely
pretty close to how you said it. Hey,
okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the introduction, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. It's all the floor. It's all yours, Keith. Go ahead.
Right. Well, thank you for having me on. Listen, it is pretty similar. I was a pastor at one time, went into a small town, created a church. It was about 4,000 people, and the church grew up to about 300 or 400 people. I walked away from that, not from the belief, but just from kind of the institution, and went and found my way and found out who I was. Did I date porn stars? Yes, I did. Did I have sex with a couple hundred women? Yes, I did. What I learned in the process of that was that's not going to fill your heart. So I met my favorite lady ever, who's my wife now, and we got married, and she left me after 5 years. And she said very simply, man, you run your business, you come home and talk about your business, and you fall asleep on the couch. And she's like, that's not what I signed up for. And your daughter, who's 2 now, deserves better. So sorry, bud, but we've given you enough chance. We give you enough warning, and my life would actually be better without you in it. And that was the wake-up call I needed to realize it didn't matter how many women I could sleep with or anything like that. It was, I can't even get the one that I really want to stay with me because I was such a piece of shit. And so I've just shared with the world over the last 5.5 years, her and I have built the most amazing relationship ever. And I just teach guys how to become the most attractive version of themselves, because if a guy and a girl get married in the beginning, she was attracted to you. Like, or almost all the time, unless she was just like, dude, this guy's rich and he's going to be dead in 10 years. I want to marry. But people say that. But for the most part, people marry because they're attracted to it. And I realized that Jessie, my wife, my beloved, who was just here like 10 minutes ago, we were recording. We do a podcast called the Married Game Podcast, and we were just in here. The last episode was what we hate about each other and how we live with each other through this. And we just talk about, hey, this shit you do kind of annoys me. This shit you do kind of annoys me. And this shit you do, I really fucking love. And this shit you do, I really love too. So it's just, we have this open communication. We love each other for who each other is. But back 5.5 years ago, she left me because the punchline was, she was no longer attracted to me. I was no longer showing up as the dude that she originally said, I love this guy. I want to be with this guy the rest of my life. And so it was my responsibility to realize I need to change me for me. I didn't expect to get her back 5.5 years ago. I hired 3 coaches. How do I get her back? And the consensus was, maybe you should change you. Maybe you should become the most attractive version of you and quit worrying about what she needed to change or whatever. And I realized I'm 95% the problem. All this shit in my life is in my lap because I put it there. And when I got real honest about that, that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to work on me for me. She eventually came back about 5 or 6 months later because I worked on me for me. And she, realized, wow, this is the Keith I loved. In that process, we came up with a process and sense of help hundreds of guys who have been through our coaching program and thousands who watch our videos and listen to our podcast. The very simple fact, the very simple truth is this, dude, if you can become the most attractive version of you, she'll be attracted. And attracted doesn't necessarily mean biceps and abs and all the other stuff. It means you have a personality that people lean in and go, I want to hear more. I like how I feel when I'm around this guy. And I think that's the sign of greatness, is how other people feel about themselves after having been around you. And so I want my wife to feel like the most loved, amazing human being on earth, not because I want anything from her, but because that's what an amazing dude would do. And so there's a lot of guys who struggle. 85% of guys aren't happy with the quantity or quality I love the guy in the surf with the seatbelt on. Dude, that background is absolutely money, dude. Yes. Chad Youngblood just seatbelting his way through the sandy paradise of all goodness. I love it. Well done. Bravo. But what I learned, I don't do anything to get my wife to have sex with me. I don't do nothing for sex. I do everything because that's the guy I want to be. He's a good dude. And a lot of people out there is like, if you want your wife to have sex with you again, because it's a problem for 85% of dudes, they go, you should start buying her gifts. You should start saying yes more often. You should start doing more chores around the house, all that. And I say, every guy that's tried that hasn't got their wife to want to have sex with them again. Here's why. They're doing it to get something. That's called taker energy. If I'm just doing something so that I get something, that's taker energy. Women, you guys are smart. You can smell that shit from a mile away. It's like body odor. You can't see it, but you can sure smell it. And you're like, this guy is just doing this to try and get something from me. I don't do anything to get something from my wife. I do everything to give to my wife because she's awesome. And I want the reputation in my own brain. I'm an awesome dude. I don't pick up my dog shit because I'm supposed to. I do it because that's my dog. 13.8 pounds of nothing but pure love and fur, and she shits. And she is my dog. So I go pick up her shit. I don't take out the trash because I hope to get laid. I take out the trash because guess what? That's my shit in there. That's my, this is my family. We eat and we have scraps. Guess who gets to take it out? Me. Not so I can hope to get lucky. It's bullshit. I'm doing it because I want her to know that she's lucky she got a dude like me that will step up and do this. So it's the energy. All what everybody's teaching out there is this bullshit taker energy. Do this, do this, do this. Like, no, do it because you're a good dude. So it's right actions, but it's wrong attitude. And my message to the world is, and my message is really just to guys. But when our beloved asked me to jump on here, I'm like, is it guys or girls? He said, yes, I said, fuck it, I'll jump in anyway. Because most women, when they hear me, they go, I want a man like that. I want a man that's doing this, not to get something from me, but I want a man that's doing this because he wants to be a good dude in his own brain. And it's this energy. So that's one thing we got with that way I like to teach with guys. The second thing I like to tell guys is this. Do what you say when you say you're going to do it every single time, no exception.
Very important.
Very important because it develops one thing, trust. And when the trust goes up, the lust goes up. When my wife knows if Keith says he's going to do something, he does it for one reason, because that I know that's how I actually understand. I know how that's showing my self-love, because it shows that my word means something and you can take it, literally take it to the bank. Mm-hmm. But my wife can lean on me. My wife can lean on me and go, yep, everything he says. I may not like everything he says, but I know he's honest. And I know if he goes said, hey, I can't do that, he's not going to tell me you can do it and then back out last moment. A lot of guys do that. Another thing that a lot of guys do is they've given away their power. They're looking for validation from their women. That will kill every lady boner from here to the Mississippi River and back. Why? For one reason. No woman wants to be some dude's mom.
Got that right.
The guy can't even put his socks in the hamper, Adrian. Get a fucking break, brother. You can't go 6 more inches. You want her. This is what my wife said. She goes, hey, did you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? This was years ago. I go, how did you know? She goes, because like a 4-year-old, you left a glob of peanut butter and a smudge of jelly on the counter. Did you just think the fairies were going to come magically clean that up? Like, oh, shit. Yeah. So guys slip into the mom matrix. And last I checked, even though I know our world's a crazy place right now, moms are still not having sex with their kids. Okay?
That's it.
No mom goes. So when they see a guy, and this is what dads say, right? Dad says this, oh, my wife says we have 4, I got 4 kids. My wife says she has 5. Ha, ha, ha. That's an indictment that you're not stepping up as a man. Every woman wants to look across the room and go, that's my man. I'm honored to be with him. That's the lady that says, like my wife after date night. You better pull me off behind that dive bar and fuck me in the back of that Range Rover, big boy. I can't wait 20 minutes to get home. I need you now. That's how you create that life. So I'm just spitting truth because guys are living in the dark ages, and I always put the blame on the guy until you no longer can. Meaning, when guys come into my program, we work with them for 90 days and we say, dude, you're not allowed to talk about her for 90 days. Why? Because I want you to be able to look at me and go, I'm the most attractive version of me right now. You can't say that, then you don't get to talk about her. And what I also tell everybody is, guys, is this: you're the problem. How could you say that? Because it's true. Because it's true, A. And B, if you're the problem, that means you're also the solution. It's the only way you have hope of actually fixing the situation, is if you actually realize you're the problem and you can become the solution. And that's what it was for me. That was the biggest aha for me, is I realized I'm at least 95% at fault for this. I won't take 100%. You know, I'm sure she's a little bitchy. She has her thing. But I was 95% at fault at this. And I realized I'm either going to get honest about that, and I'm going to get real about that, and I'm going to deal with me, or I'm going to continue to flounder in the cul-de-sac and just not go anywhere. Feel like I'm going somewhere, but I'm literally just going in circles. That was unacceptable for me. So these are the realizations that I had and that I share with individuals, and be like, listen, if your wife isn't initiating, this is how you know if you're in a situation that you like or not. You ready? I call it the pit. It's pit. It feels like hell for guys. It really generally feels like hell for guys. She doesn't initiate. She doesn't enthusiastically participate, and she cares more about the spreadsheets than she does the bed sheets. But what that simply means is, A, she's not saying, hey, big boy, let's go do it. She's like, oh, God, fucking stinky pants wants sex again. All right, I guess I got to give it up to her. All right. Secondly, she cares more. She doesn't enthusiastically participate. You just lay there and you're like, all right, dude, you've got 3 minutes. I know you only need a minute and a half, and I'm giving you some extra time on the clock just in case you're going through baseball stats in your head, right? So, and no guy likes that, because men, we want to be wanted. And then the third thing is she cares more about the spreadsheets than she does the bed sheets. And men feel like a walking paycheck, a walking ATM. But it's also because we've made, and this is what my wife says on our podcast, it's called the Married Game Podcast, for the person that asked on the bottom, the Married Game Podcast. My wife's like, dude, you make me feel like a walking vagina. Like literally all you care about is me and having sex with me. And I'm like, you're not wrong. But I'm wrong for thinking that, and I'm wrong for making you feel that way, because that is a horrible way to show up. Because I don't just love the hole in you, I love the whole of you. I love all of you. I love your smarts. I love your brains. I love how funny you are. I love that you can play rock and roll. I love that you're the greatest DJ ever. I love that you own the karaoke circuit. I love so much about you, not just that I love to have sex with you. And that's when she realized, and that's when I realized, that men really need to step up in this area. We are the problem, because here's what happens. And I know I'm going on a diatribe, and I'm loving all the responses by your faces and the clapping and, and all this. So thank you. I'm feeding off the energy, so I appreciate that. But here's what we need to realize. We need to realize, guys need to realize something very, very simple. And that is, dude, your woman wants to be in an intimate, radically fulfilling, totally connected relationship. No woman said as a child, I love Disney movies, but I'd rather not have that. Oh, this Disney movie's awesome, but I'd rather marry a dude and get so turned off by him that I actually hate being around him. I can't wait. I'd rather choose. No woman chose that road on purpose. Men led them down it. And here's how they led them down it. You ready? And I'm not a man basher. I help men. This is what I do. All I do is talk with men because I'm a man. I got a penis. I know what it feels like to have one. I don't know what it's like to have, I don't know what it's like to bleed every month. I don't know what it's like to birth children. I don't know what anything is like. I don't know what it's like to walk down the street and be a beautiful woman and have guys catcall you. I never have a girl catcall me. I've never heard a cat call my entire life. And I got a pretty damn good bicep, and I got amazing calves. But women, you still ain't catcalling me. So I don't know what the hell it's like to walk through this world like a woman. But I do know what it's like to walk through a man. And here's where men get it wrong. You ready? This is what they say. This is what I said. This is what most men said. I am providing. I am protecting. I am producing. Where's my sex? It's like, dude, have you taken her on a date? Well, yeah, I took her on a date 2 months ago. What'd you do? Oh, we swung by Home Depot to pick up some parts, and then we just drove through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru on the way home. I'm like,
Wow.
all right, Casanova, no wonder you're not getting more ass in a toilet seat, dude. No wonder. Home Depot and Chick-fil-A, what the fuck? Are you a construction crew? So what's happening is guys don't understand that you can't, it's protecting, providing, and producing is one part of your role, but there's also passion. There's also a whole nother role. So what happens is because they feel entitled that they've done this, they start to become apathetic. They no longer put in the effort. They no longer go the extra mile to show this beautiful lady how much she's loved and honored and cherished. And so what happens is he stops putting her time and attention into her. And she's like, well, fuck this guy. I was born, I want some attention. Why won't he give it to me? Well, because he's too busy trying to kill the buffalo, which he was kind of wired to do. And he says, I'm doing it for you, except most guys out there trying to kill lots of buffalo usually end up losing their wife. Why? Because the buffalo is more important than the beautiful bride at home, and they don't know how to balance it out because they don't have anybody telling them the real way, and nobody's talking as real as I am. It's why I'm getting a lot of traction, why a lot of guys join my program, and why our podcast continues to double its listenership every single month, month after month, because we're saying, hey, fucker, here's the truth. The reason your wife doesn't want to suck your dick is because you haven't given her any time, and you haven't given her any attention, and you haven't loved her, and you haven't put any effort in, and you actually act like when she said I do, that was the finish line, when in fact, it was just you stepping into the starting blocks. So what woman wants to hump some dude that comes in and says, where's my sandwich? Where's my dinner? Cracks a brewski, watches the game, sits there like a bump on a log, and gains 60 to 80 pounds, expects her to be all perfect and perfect. And it's like, dude, what the fuck planet do you think you're living on? Because let me tell you something. That is not how it works around here. And you need to get your head out of your ass because it's a lot easier to breathe that way, first of all. Second of all, you're going to be able to see a lot better when your head's not up your fucking anus. Third of all, your wife actually might like you when you show a little effort because you actually want her to feel amazing, because that's what a good dude should and would and can and ought to do. That's why my wife can't keep her hands off me. Not because I have amazing white hair and a beautiful jawline and big pecs and beautiful butt. That's part of it, but it's a small part of it. The big part of it is I give her my time and attention, and I don't treat her like it's an obligation to be with her. I treat it like I'm obsessed being with her, because guess what? I love her. I honor her. And that's the punchline of all of this, is your wife has lost attraction. She no longer leans in, she leans out. And that's why women, you guys have probably said this or have heard this before. Adrian, Shelly, Sonia, Joy, Mel, Yvonne. Mel, yeah, you look like a guy, maybe not Mel. Women, what have you said? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What that means is, listen, we've had a good history. I've had some times with you, but honestly, I get no tingles when I'm around you. Why? Because you're boring, because you've stopped putting in effort, because you don't invest in me, and therefore you get no ROI. And what we call ROI in our world is a return of intimacy, connection. Women want to connect outside the bedroom. If you think they want to connect inside the bedroom, you've got to connect outside. These are just truths that,
True.
The great American uncle Keith Yackey is just sharing with the world. And dude, I have made every mistake. And when I make them, I say what they are. And then I say, here's how to change it. So women are asking themselves this of their men. They're looking at their man and saying, is he a good parent? These are the 5 dials to becoming a great, great, great husband. And we call it becoming a provocateur. A provocateur is a man who provokes his woman to want to be with him. So this is how to become a provocateur. Number 1, you got to be a great parent. Why? Well, these beautiful women spend 9 months cooking this bun in the oven and deliver it to the world. And that's all they think about is, how do I make sure that this baby survives and then thrives? My wife loves the kids more than me. No shit, Sherlock. That's her job. That is literally her job, is to make sure that these kids get raised. And maybe you should jump in and also start helping out. Maybe you should not just say, hey, you want to go on a family date at 5:15 and then show up at 5:14 and 45 seconds. Be like, I'm here. Who's ready to party? Why don't you show up at 5 o'clock and go take your 7-year-old daughter, make sure she's dressed, make sure everything's packed, make sure the car's warmed or cooled, depending on where you live. Make sure your daughter has shoes on. Maybe you put her in the car seat. Maybe you get everything ready so your wife can walk down at 5:14 and 45 seconds and go, wow, my man really knows how to take care of us. Big difference.
Mm-hmm.
How I know that women love their kids more than they love husbands? Very simple. You're going to say, Keith, I can't believe how obvious you are. Well, you're ready for it. You ready? Here it is. Women don't divorce children. They divorce husbands. Dun, dun, dun. You can fight with me and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, maybe I don't. Go look at the fucking stats, big boy, big girl. Go look at the stats. Never women divorcing children. Come on, man, get your head out of your ass. All right, so the second thing they're asking is very simple. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a good partner? That's the second out. Is he a good partner? Like, do I feel like he's my best friend? Do I feel like I can trust him? Do I feel like I can share with him honestly, openly about what I'm struggling? Or does he just sit there and stare at me and he got this mental clock in his brain going, oh man, if I listen for 17 minutes, maybe I'll get some sex. And there's this taker energy, this crazy taker energy, rather than like, dude, you're my partner. How can I support you? For me, it looks like creating amazing times. My wife loves karaoke, loves it. We like having parties. We've got party type friends. We live on the beach. We have our friends over. We shoot pool. We talk shit. We have a good time. We listen to good music. My wife's an amazing dancer. She can twerk. She can do all the good vibey things. I literally sit there on a bar stool and watch her dance in front of me. And it is the greatest thing ever. Sometimes it brings tears to my eyes because I go, well, wow, I am such a dude. And I really like that my wife dances for me. This is amazing. But guess what? Somebody gave her a bullshit karaoke machine. They gave her a bullshit karaoke machine that kept breaking, but I usually am the only one that's sober at these parties, or I just have edible gummies. Everybody else is drinking, and I'm in the happy hammock of happiness with my weed edibles. And so I'm the only one that's probably got the dexterity and smarts to fix this stupid machine. So they all come to me at 9:14 after they've had 14 shots, and I'm the only one that can fix the karaoke machine. I said, well, this is bullshit. I ain't doing this anymore. I marched my ass right down to Guitar Center and said, you give me the best damn karaoke machine you got. I want the mixing boards. I want the mic stands. I want mics. I want to be able to blow my neighborhood out the water for one reason. My wife likes doing karaoke and she got a bullshit machine, and I'm tired of seeing her with that bullshit machine. So I bought her karaoke machine. Now we got the best karaoke machine in all the land. And guess what? My wife sings her little karaoke, just sings her little heart out. It's investing in. I don't make a sacrifice. There's nothing that I do that is a sacrifice for my family. Everything I do is an investment. Everything's an investment. Sacrifice, nobody wants to sacrifice. Hey, I'll give you $1 million if you cut off your right hand. Fuck you, I'm not giving you my right hand. Hey, think of it as an investment. Well, that's a little different. But I look at everything I do with my family as an investment. If I take them somewhere, I'm investing in time because I want connection. I want them to feel connected to me. So parenting, partnering, your wife is looking at both of these. And my wife, literally, just so you guys know, because you're like, wow, he's really eloquent. Maybe because I fucking made all the mistakes. Parenting, my wife said, you're such a horrible dad with our first kid. She goes, I don't even want to have the second kid with you. That's how bad I was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. I'm so bad. I'm such a bad dad. She didn't even want to have a second kid with me. Now she thinks I'm the best dad in the world. Why? Because I am. Secondly, and I spend a lot of time with my daughter because I love my daughter. That's what a good dad does. I don't ever hang out with my kids so my wife will go, oh, yeah, he's such a good dad. I want to have sex with him. No, I want to be a good dad because that's my little human walking around the earth. Secondly, she goes, you're such a bad partner. I feel more alone being in a relationship with you than if I was single. These are not great indictments on me. This is how bad I was at this. All right, third thing, producer. Third dot, you got to be a producer. You got to be going somewhere. Nobody goes and sits in the train station in a train going to nowhere. Women, You want a man that's going somewhere. You respect a man that's going somewhere, that's driven and ambitious, that wants more for his life, that he's expanding the territory, he's expanding his boundaries, expanding who he is, not only just monetarily, but in his thinking and in his skill assessment and his ability to love, his ability to express and emote in a mature, amazing way. Women love seeing a man on the come up. Why? Because that's what a man's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be expanding and growing and leading and learning and be creating more of who he is. Creators are sexy. They're sexy as humans walking the planet. They create shit. They don't just muck around and ruin shit. They create shit. I'm created to create. I was born by a creator. I am a creator. I'm here to create shit. Women like that. My business was going so well, I started eating Chipotle burritos like they were Tic Tacs, and I gained 40 or 50 pounds. It's like, what the fuck's going on, dude? I thought you were supposed to take over the world. Now you're just this lazy piece of shit that eats Chipotle burritos on the couch and asks to turn up the volume. Where's my beer? It's like, that ain't sexy. That ain't sexy at all. So those are the three things that most men are decent at. I was horrible at: being a good parent, being a good partner, being a good producer. Now, here are these next two dials, and we'll bring this plane home. We'll land it safely, and most of you won't need your oxygen mask when I'm done. But here we go. Here we go. The first of these second dials, which is the fourth dial, it's the player dial. It's having fun, being playful. The greatest American poet, Cyndi Lauper, said it best: girls just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun. Whoa. Dude, girls want to have fun. They want to have fun. And usually a guy, when he starts dating a woman, he's like, got all these moves. You know, we're going to go here and we're going to do this, baby. Oh, baby, we're going to do this. You don't go on a first date and say you want to Netflix and chill. Not with somebody that's important, do you? But guys are heading down to the local Mexican restaurant and just sitting there dipping chips and dip, and you're boring as fuck, dude. You don't know how to carry a conversation. You don't take them anywhere fun. You don't ride bikes on the beach. You don't laugh. You got a broomstick shoved so far up your ass, it's coming out your mouth, and somebody broke it off and you're walking around. You're boring, man. Women don't like boring. That's some bullshit, dude. You take her on a date. Take her on a date. Have some fun with her. Go dancing with her. But I'm not a good dancer. She don't give a fuck. She wants to go dance. She wants to. What did Shakira say? The hips don't lie. Women like to shake their hips. They want to get out there and have some fun. Go take me out and I want to have a good time. I want to date again. Most guys aren't doing that. And so their wife's like, yeah, my husband's boring as fuck. He doesn't do anything, doesn't initiate, doesn't think about where to take me. You guys want a new standard? Let me give you a new standard. Let me raise the bar for you, gentlemen, if you should so accept. Here's the bar. Imagine right now you're single, totally single. And that hot lady from high school that you really wanted to be with. For me, it was Kristen Bennett. She was a cheerleader. She sat next to me in algebra class, and boy, she was a looker. Never gave me the time of day. Man, was she a looker. Imagine I'm single today and Kristen shows up right now in my DMs, goes, oh, Keith, what's up, brother? You doing amazing things, blah, blah, blah. Getting all excited, right? Like, yeah, what's up? We should hang out. She goes, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go on a date. Okay. How would I show up for that date? Wearing my dad's sport coat that's 3 times too big for me and baggy Dockers with pleats in them and leather shoes with tassels? Hell no, I wouldn't do that. I'd be the coolest motherfucker ever. And I would put my ideas and I'd put my energy into where can I take her? I would plan a date and I would think about, I would put in the big word, effort. Why? Because I want to show her she's special and I want to get laid. The sheer fact that I want to lay her causing me to put in effort. And every guy I go goes, I want to get laid more. I want my wife to want me. And that's really the punchline. We want to be wanted. I go, well, then what effort are you putting into this? None. Well, then what the fuck did you expect? You want big biceps without curling any weights? What are you doing? What are you, crazy? Didn't your uncle teach you nothing? You can't get something for nothing. Doesn't work that way. This is what I'm teaching guys, man. Go have fun. Start your date. Go take your wife on a date. Why? Take her out of her home where she's mom. Cheerios in her hair, stepping on Legos, and PTA meeting announcements sitting in the mail. Take her out of that and go take her dancing. Go take her out for some espresso martinis and overlook the ocean at sunset. Go take her and have some fun. Go take her to axe throwing. Let her get some of that rage out. Throw some axes around. Take her bowling. Go play arcades. Go kick her ass in air hockey. Do something that says, I am a fun guy and we are having fun. That's what gets women excited. They want to feel like they're dating again. My wife calls me. You know what my wife calls me? I'm going to give you this. This is funny. So she called the old Keith that she got rid of. She called me Trevor. She said, I have to put the douchiest name ever on the old you. I said, all right. Every Trevor in the world is going to hate this, but that's okay. I was a Trevor. And then when we got back together, I was Keith. But about a year into this, she goes, I have a new name for you. Now, mind you, my wife is Spanish, French Canadian, Italian. My wife's hot. Like she's posed in Maxim. She's a very, very gorgeous girl. And I really am really super attracted to her. She says, I have a new nickname for you. I go, what's that? She says, your new name is Sancho. I'm like, ooh, Sancho, that sounds sexy. What does that mean? She goes, it's Mexican for side piece. And I'm going to treat you like my side piece. And I said, oh, I like the sound of that. Oh, my wife's calling me her side piece? Now we are talking. Now we're talking. That's what happens when you show up as a fun guy. That's why when I did my comedy show in Las Vegas, the guy in the front row was hearing my comedy show. And I was talking about the 4 different types of sex. And I was talking about my wife, and I was talking about sex, and I was talking about, and it was obviously very funny. And when my set was done, I did 15 minutes, called up the next guy, and went in the back, and my wife and I just start making out like we had just met. And, you know, she had had some drinks. I was high on gummies. And we were in Las Vegas, and we were just footloose and fancy free. And hey, everybody was watching the show. We're in the back. We're making out. 2 months later, I run into that guy in the front row at a conference that I'm speaking at. And I run into him in the bathroom. And this is what he says. He goes, dude, were you the comedian in Las Vegas on this night with so-and-so? And I go, yeah, that was me. He goes, my girlfriend and I, we loved your show. Except when we went back to the bathroom, we saw you making out with some hot young girl in the back. And we thought, this guy's really fucking disrespectful towards his wife. Talks about his wife on stage and making out with some hot chick in the back. I said, dude, that's my wife. And he goes, all right, then I need to sign up for your program, because if that's how you and your wife kiss when you're out in public, I need your course. I need to figure out what the fuck you're doing, because my girlfriend does not even treat me that way, let alone my wife of almost 10 years. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Having fun, making out, being 14-year-old kids again, and having a good time. This is the player dial. Dad bods. Nobody likes them. I don't care what the internet says. Nobody likes them. You letting yourself go and smell like shit and not putting deodorant on or taking a shower or brushing your teeth, nobody likes it. I don't care what the internet says. They're lying. Every woman wants a man that's strong, firm, ready to go, can fuck anybody up that tried to hurt his family, and also can get him around, tell him a good story, make everybody laugh and have a good time and feel great about themselves. That's what a player within a marriage is. All right. You guys ready for the 5th dial?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, hey, by the way, I've been on a rant. Anybody liking this? I'm getting some positive feedback, but are you guys feeling this?
Yeah, it's very informative. I'm listening. I'm sure everybody else is.
I'm glad I joined the webinar today. I wasn't expecting this.
Me neither.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure, I'm going to read the room here.
My apologies. I don't even know if I can be heard, but I'm at the airport and the reception is horrible.
No problem.
Well, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, here we go. 5th dial, and we'll land this plane. 5th dial. It's the power dial. The power dial is very, very simple. A powerful man does not need the validation of others around him. And he does not need the validation of his wife. Most men Most men are looking for their wives to validate them. And women don't want to validate their man. They want to respect their man and be in awe of their man and love their man. They don't want to have to validate him. They don't want to have to be able to give him a cookie or a gold star when he does a good job. He's cute, good, little good boy. No woman wants to be with that guy. That's pathetic. She wants to know my man's a powerful man. He has resources. He can do things. He doesn't need my validation. And here's how you can tell. Are you working out or doing personal development hoping your wife will say something? That's ridiculous. Do it for you. Do it for you. Here's the difference. A lot of guys are trying to teach, here's the 3 words to get your wife wanting to have sex with you in bed, or here's the 2 things you need to do to get her hot and horny for you tonight. That's a bunch of bullshit. Here's why it's bullshit. It's not about this little thing you did. It's about who you become. It's about a becoming. I can't give you a letter, a video, a note, a book on how to curl 50 pounds. It's not going to help you. The only way you're going to be able to curl 50-pound dumbbell is building the muscle that can actually do it. You have to become this guy, stepping in your power, saying, I don't need validation from my wife. I want her to love me, but I'm going to do this for me. We say this, we're going to help you become the most attractive version of you for you. She gets the benefit and the blessing of being with you. But if you are doing it for her and she doesn't approve of it, what, are you going to stop becoming the best version of you? That sounds like a bunch of horse shit someone's trying to sell you. I don't sell horse shit. I sell reality and truth and what's going on in the real world. The real world is you should do this for you. If a man edits or audits his shine for a woman, doesn't say what he really believes. My wife does not know if there is a God. She doesn't know if she believes in it. You know what I tell her? You goddamn out of your mind. You must be fucking crazy. You ever seen a painting without a painter or a building without a builder? Come on now. What do you mean? You see creation with no creator? You got to be crazy. Of course there's a creator. Guess what? I don't care if she believes it or not. Don't mind me. Don't mind no nothing me. But she don't care what I believe. She goes, well, hey, it makes you a better human being. You seem to think you're going to stand in front of some maker one day and be accountable for everything you do. And that caused you to show up in an amazing way. Why the hell would I ever knock that? Not going to knock that. I appreciate that about you. I usually wear very short shorts. Why? I got beautiful legs. Makes me feel like an athlete. I'm talking really short, guys. They're ridiculously short. They're absolutely super unnecessary. I fucking love them. My wife's like, well, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I said, but you can't hate what these beautiful legs are. And it makes me feel like an athlete, which makes me continue to eat well and train hard and become the best version of me. So do you want a fat, slobby guy who's lazy? Or do you want a sexy, svelte, made of steel, absolute redwood that happens to have shorts that are way too short? She goes, well, I just love you for you. A lot of guys are editing or auditing their shine because they're afraid to say what they really believe. And that makes them a follower of their wife. And the wife is like, I don't want to be the leader. I want to want you. I want to want you. Women want to want their husband. Who doesn't want to be in a radically connected, amazing, giving, loving relationship? Everybody does. But the guys are messing it up. So that's what it is. So listen, I'll bring it to a close and I'll say this. I know I'm a psychopath. I know I'm wild. I know I talk fast, but I also know that everything I say is the God honest truth. And if you really sit with it, you can't deny it. And most men want to become the best version of themselves, but they don't know how. They don't have the blueprint. They don't know how to turn this situation around. And this is a very real situation for men. When they don't feel loved or wanted by their wives, the same way if a wife doesn't feel loved or wanted by her husband, it really messes with your confidence. It messes with how you show up. It messes with your hustle. It messes with your business. It messes with your grind, messes with your confidence, messes with your self-esteem, messes with everything. Bottom line is, though, I can help you. And the reason I come on and do these shows where there's a ton of people, there's not a ton of people, is very simple. I want to get the message. I call it the gospel of married game because it's good news. The gospel, the word gospel means good news. What I have to tell men is good news because guess what? You are in control. You can fix this. You can turn this around. And by doing so, you'll save your marriage. You'll save the family unit. And the family unit will no longer be torn apart where kids are having to make decisions that even adults can't make. Don't pick a side. What do you mean don't pick a side? Kids, of course, going to pick a side. They're going to pick the side that's going to give them the most candy and let them stay up late at night. They're fucking kids. What did you expect them to rationale through it like some 28-year-old? Give me a break. And I've been through a divorce with my first 3 kids, my first thing. And I carried the guilt around me with me forever, and it affected my kids. So I didn't want it to happen again. And it was very close to happening for the second time when my wife left. I thought, this is it. This is over. I was concerned. I was certain this was it.
Mm.
And when I got her back, I said, I'm going to figure out how to get this. I'm going to create a process, and I'm going to go tell the world exactly how I regained heaven on earth with my wife, because it was hell at one point. And so the way I do that with people very simply now is I just send them to callwithkeith.com or go to marriedgame.com. Either way, callwithkeith.com or marriedgame.com. Either way, there's a video there that will show you more in-depthly what I'm talking about, but I'll also have a button there where you can click on it and talk with me or talk with my main guy, Sean. There's 2 of us that talk with people, talk with dudes, no ladies. Ladies, you got to send your dude. We don't work with women. I like talking with women because I like getting your positive feedback when I go crazy in the microphone and you guys are like, hey man, this guy's preaching. Keep preaching, brother. I like that. Makes me feel good, but I only work with men. So if you're a dude or you know a dude in this situation, send them to marriedgame.com. Or if you like what you've heard so far and you want to just jump on the phone with me, go to callwithkeith.com, call with Keith. And with a very quick application, like 5 questions, find out a little bit more about you. So when we jump on the phone, we can just hit the ground running. That's what I do. That's how I help guys. This is my truth. And I'm going to continue to keep preaching until the day I die. I appreciate you having me here, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening, guys. It's been an honor.
Yes,
to be here with you.
and what you're saying is refreshing to my ears.
Good. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful information. Yes. Thank you so much, Keith.
Thanks, LaShawn. Appreciate you guys. Shelly,
Yes,
Yvonne,
Keith.
Mel. Thank
First
you.
time.
And of course,
This is very important, Keith. Men need to know all of this. They do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Keith,
Hey, Yvonne.
real talk, man. I like that. Right to the point, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
so much.
that's what people need to hear.
Yeah, yes, just speaking the truth. So,
Instead of the ego game, you know.
yeah. Listen, everything you want is on the other side of putting your ego down and quitting trying to be right. To figure out what works. We're results based. I've worked with like close to 200 people through my program, and I made one agreement with every single one of them, and it's simply this: if you do the work and this doesn't work, I don't want your money. I guarantee you'll get the result I tell you to get if you do the actual work. And guess what? I've had 0 refund requests. Why? Because it works. Truth will always win. You can try and hide it. You can try and snuff it. Doesn't work. You can't hide. You can't beat the truth. The truth will always win.
Yeah, that's the
So,
truth.
I'm just sharing the truth. Not everybody likes to hear it. And I got enemies on the internet who don't like what I say. And guess what? I send blessings and love, and I'm rooting for them to win too. Because the more they win, the more I win. The more I win, the more we win. The more winners win, the more winning happens. That's just going to make our earth a better spot.
Yes,
So-
because this is what the world needs right now. There's so much diversion going on and people are lost, and this is great.
You know what, Keith? Some guys just have too much.
Hey, well, my apologies, Keith. I couldn't get in like I wanted to get in. Had these deliveries at the airport, and the reception is horrible. But I will hit you back later, bro.
Hey, just appreciate you guys having me on. I got to get going, but man, it's been an honor. And if any of you guys or anybody listening to the replay of this, or whoever gets this in the hands of whoever, go to Call with Keith and book a call. We'll chat, or you can go to marriedgame.com and watch more. But that's what we do. This is who I am.
I don't even know if that was horrible.
It's my time, bitch, on that big bitch. You know me. She finna see. They like fuck.
Okay, thanks,
Niggas
Keith.
cause I'm
And
poppin',
Parky,
nigga,
thank
I'm
you.
putting niggas
This
in that
is
place on the
beautiful.
bed.
Thank
Probably
you.
cause my pockets out of respect. And for you
Thank
dumb niggas,
everyone.
probably that just mean they out of space
Okay,
on the
thank
bed.
you. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye-bye.